in junior school. That's the attitude, that's the approach here. And so we find it so hard because we think it's a belief imposed by some creator that he keeps in his pocket that we're not supposed to know about, you know.
Apart from Buddha, anyone else proved it to him?
Of course, people are doing it. Of course, they're doing it all the time. What else? That's what the job is. There are countless beings have become Buddhas on the way since the 2,500 years ago. Yeah, of course they are.
Are you on the way there?
Honey, what am I doing for the last 40 years? Just going blow out of my mouth?
But have you proved it?
That's none of your business. I'm just giving you the words and the methods. You've got to decide. But never mind. I can say this, okay. I can say I'm serious in every word I say. I'm presenting this package of the Buddha's view of how to see the world. That much I can say. And I've got it from my valid teachers, who've got it from theirs, who've got it from the Buddha way back. So that's why you should check up that this is a valid, you know, that words I am saying are valid. You know, it's important. So just believe what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I have confidence in this process. I have some intellectual confidence, put it that way. So how about, okay, let's go into now more, let's go, okay. Yes, darling.
You said that the main cause of our suffering, current suffering today, is because of actions from the past and our delusional mind today.
Well, both delusions then, but also delusions now, yes.
Is there
for
a
sure.
way to bypass or to overcome whatever we did in the past?
Yes, yes, of course it is. That's the, yes, of course it is. That's the job, as much as you can. Get ahead of the game and at least, okay.
Otherwise I feel condemned by what I did in the past.
Well, we are condemned. If you keep smoking cigarettes, you are condemned. You're right, you're going to get cancer at some point. You're right, of course you are. So what do? You've got to learn to know, stop smoking.
For the future, but...
Well, obviously, goes without saying. If you see weeds in your garden now, you're saying, are there methods to stop the weeds from growing? Yeah, first, pull them out, baby. Okay. Of course it is. So there's two levels, you could say, of practice here. The first one is you have to recognize there's a weed and know the cause of it. So the first one is stop causing more weeds. That'd be most urgent, most immediate, stop growing more weeds. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. And the second level of practice is pull out the weeds that you've already grown to stop them from getting worse. So that's the fundamental starting point of good practice.
But the weed will grow anyway. The weed that in the past will grow.
No, I just said, no, you didn't hear me. I'll say it again. I'm sorry, forgive me.
No, the seed, I mean.
Okay, the seed. First of all, you stop sowing more seeds. Okay. At least that's the most obvious. Stop killing, stop lying, stop stealing. The most basic level of practice. Be a nice person. Do what your grandma says. Behave nicely. You understand? Basically. That's the first of refraining from sowing more dumb seeds. The second one is you've got to deal with the seeds you've already planted. It's a bit late to deal with, well, it's not totally late to deal with the weeds already grown, but you can learn from it and know again to repeat not to sow more. But the ideal one is to try and pull out the seeds before they grow. So one, you know, there's just words in systems. They use words. You know, they've got language. So the first one is called abiding by the laws of karma. Don't kill, don't steal, don't lie for your own sake, because it's going to harm you. And then second, we call it purification, which is this practical psychological process of remembering I must have killed and lied and stolen in the past, so to regret it. What am I going to do about it? Then first of all, it's like having compassion for yourself. Then you think of compassion for others you've harmed. Then you do some kind of, antidote to it, and then you make a vow not to do it again. So it's this process. We call it purification. It's just karma's created by the mind. Negative karma is created by negative states of mind. And then positive karma is created by positive states of mind. So you're programming your mind in a different way. So one, to stop sowing more negative seeds, and two, to attempt to purify the ones you've already planted. That's really what essential daily practice is. And we'll go into more details. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I was just wondering about the people and the children that live or are born in
suffering.
To a war-torn.
That's right. Yes.
Or might be starving.
Yes. Totally. Yes. Every sentient being. And equally, if you think of fortunate people like us who aren't in war, well, maybe you've been living in a war zone, but let's just say at the moment we're not in a war zone. Let's say, think of all the kids who've got lovely families and lovely mummies and lovely daddies and education and money in the bank and good food. The same for them. But we tend not to ask why the good things happen. We only ask why the bad things happen. It's the same law.
Is that a result from bad?
It's a result from good karma. No, I'm talking purposely the good one. I'm really trying to force us to see the simple principle that Buddha's making is that all happiness as well as suffering is the fruit of our past actions. So as I mentioned before, we tend to ask why the bad things happen, but you can equally ask, well, why, you mean that beautiful child with a good mummy and good daddy created the cause? And the answer is yes. Do you see what I'm saying, my point? Or not?
Not really.
Okay, which is the point you don't understand?
Well, just going back to what you were saying about karma.
That's right. Exactly, that's right.
So if I was born into
suffering environment.
Yeah.
But I'm purposely leaping ahead of that. And can you accept that some children have a beautiful environment?
Oh, absolutely.
And have good mummies and daddies and mummy in the bank and education and food? Do you accept that they're also existing? What I'm trying to point out is the answer to your question is the same to this question. They are also experiencing the fruit of their past actions. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So if a person, so in other words, the flowers are also the fruit of past seeds. But we tend to only ask, why do the bad things happen? That was my point purposely, to answering like that. Can you hear the point now? Are you sure?
I think so.
So what am I saying? I'm sorry. So what's the principle I'm making? What's the principal point I'm making?
Well,
That what we experience now is the fruit of our past. So your question was, which is typical, naturally you ask it, so you mean the kids who are born in war zones created the cause? Is that your question? Yeah, I know, that's right, that's what I'm saying. Yes, of course they did, that's the point. But I also purposely added the good people as well, that they are also experiencing the fruits of their past actions. Are you hearing my point?
Yeah.
I'm purposely answering this way because we only ask why the bad things happen. But the same reason why good things happen. So if you look in your garden, you've got flowers and weeds.